Well, what is going on, guys, and welcome back. As you know, the Black Knight has arrived in Marvel Snap, and we're going to see if he is a deadly new addition to the discard archetype or just a complete dud. Now, as you know, discard has been largely the same since February and MODOK's release, being both competitive in the meta and highly dependable ever since. Well, today, guys, we're going to break down the card, its combos, counters, pretty much everything about it, and ultimately answer what is its place in Marvel Snap, and is it worth buying even for the most dedicated diehard discard fans? In addition, today we have two different decks, one a bit more risky while the other is dependable, but both are revival discard focus with the Black Knight at play, cheating out enormous power while at the same time utilizing targeted discard options. Both decks have a huge burst, easy to understand playlines, and of course flexible options. So the Black Knight is a 1-cost, 2-power card with the unique ability of creating the Ebony Blade into your hand, with the card's power that you last discard. This can only happen once a game, and the Black Knight needs to be on the board. But essentially, you play the Black Knight down. Whatever you discard next, you'll get that Ebony Blade for 4 costs with the new power. Now let's go ahead and talk about the MVPs with the Black Knight. We start with Ghost Rider, who finally has the best home possible when played with the Black Knight and is probably my favorite card pairing. This allows you to discard something huge, get that power to the Ebony Blade, and bring it back with Ghost Rider. Hell, you can do them both at the same time with Zabu. Even in this Mobius economy, Zabu's great. A lot of options at 4 costs with a discard archetype, and in the decks we'll be building today. Lady Sif is the easiest surefire way to get a targeted high-power card discarded, so obviously great synergy with the Black Knight. And lastly, Taskmaster. In a perfect world, we get rid of a huge card. We could play Ebony Blade on 4, Taskmaster on 5, and then whatever we want on turn 6. Taskmaster fits into a lot of these decks, although he obviously comes with the con of having 0 power, so that could mess things up with your Ebony Blade, but most of the time, he's going to be worth his spot as a nice backup plan as well. In addition, other synergy cards are obviously our big power cards. The Infinite Apocalypse is fantastic as Ebony Blade will get the new discarded number. Red Skull Giganto, these cards you've seen in Hela decks before, alongside of our other targeted discard options and just great discard synergy cards. Now, obviously, guys, we got to talk about counters. Shang-Chi isn't as prevalent as he used to be, but by far the biggest counter to our deck, as we're playing risky. We're putting out a lot of big power early and hoping it doesn't get destroyed. We'll get to that in a second, but he's our biggest counter. Now, let's go ahead and jump into our deck options. And remember, I've got 2 today, more of a high roll option and a consistent one. Now, we're going to start with the high roll. Now, of course, we've got Hela's Miracle. It is a Hela deck that you might be used to, but this one is going to utilize the Black Knight and big power cards to our advantage. Now, starting off, guys, obviously the big cards here all are flexible. You can throw in other big stack cards like Giganto if you don't have Alioth. Alioth, I just think, has a ridiculous ability. Bringing him back with Hela, or frankly, just using him to win a lane. This deck is great at winning one lane, and Alioth can just win you the other, but he is certainly flexible. As for the other big cards, we've got Apocalypse, Infinite, and Death. Death is pretty much a must-have because Lady Sif has a guaranteed discard and just a very good option overall. And Apocalypse is one that most people don't choose to run with Hela, but I think it's great in this deck. You cycle out a ton of cards, and Dracula can get even bigger. Our Black Knight benefits off him, and so I just think he fits into the overall deck build. But again, feel free to swap him out. Strategy-wise, pretty straightforward stuff. We're going to try to rest things back and revive with Ghost Rider and or Hela. Black Knight is always going to go out on 1 when you can do so, and we'll be using Blade for a big power discard option to get the Ebony Blade in our hand, or throw Blade into Lockjaw for that good old gamble and see if you can get yourself a big card. Dracula is there because, well, he benefits off just about everything. And finally, we've got Black Cat. Now, Black Cat is not absolutely needed in the deck, but I find her nice for a curve play if we haven't gotten rid of anything and we want to simply get Ghost Rider out there, or we want an easy Ebony Blade with also 9 power. Can be clutch, and I enjoy having her in the deck as well. And from there, it's just kind of your typical Lockjaw play, right? Lockjaw's going to win a lane, and then you're going to win another with Dracula or taking something out with Ghost Rider. The only other tip here is I love to play Ghost Rider into my Lockjaw lane when possible, because you want to try to get him back, as many times as you can play him, the better typically, unless you need him to win a lane. So a lot of flexibility here, some great plug and play options, and overall, as far as Hela decks go, it's been pretty damn consistent, and it's a lot of fun. Now, before heading into our next deck, one other way to play this other than just flexing big power cards is more of this on reveal style of Hela, and it's pretty tricky to play, but I gotta tell you guys, it's pretty damn good. You've got Odin in here and a little bit of other cards, obviously more on reveal effects. And although we don't have a big card for the Black Knight outside of Apocalypse, what we do have is an awesome way to build up Apocalypse to truly have Dracula easily win a lane. And then you could play Odin on top of these discard cards like Blade, Lady Sif, and even Ghost Rider to have them trigger again. So this is a super fun build and version of the deck that I definitely recommend trying out. All right, now moving on to our more dependable option, albeit probably still not as good as MODOK in his heyday. But the deck did work pretty well, and it curves out to a nice degree. Obviously, guys, we're going to be trying to get our cards out before we get discarding like crazy. We don't want Ebony Blade to take Morbius's power, obviously, or Gambit's. So we want to try to play those when possible. But Black Knight in this deck especially can benefit off late play as well, which is kind of nice. Blade is going to be used, obviously, for our big hitters. And then we can get rid of MODOK, Apocalypse, or Infinite to get our Ebony Blade. MODOK is obviously a great vessel to get our Morbius up or build up our Apocalypse on turn 5 for our Dracula. And I find even getting rid of him with Blade will give you an Ebony Blade for 8 power. And also you can bring him back with Ghost Rider. We've got Black Cat as a backup option. And then Gambit is simply just the discard option that I enjoy the most. You know, if you value 3 more power, then Swordmaster could be plugged here. Or you could even go with maybe a Calling Wing or Silver Samurai. But Gambit, right now in this meta, is great to target cards like Luke Cage or Elsa. So I've enjoyed him in the deck. And simply put, it's played exactly how you would think, right? It's the good old Dracula taking the big power card, and you want to win the other with Ghost Rider or one of your Ebony Blade options. This thing is pretty dependable. It got about a 58% win rate when I was playing it. And overall, this is not the one I'll be taking into Conquest today, but definitely a good deck. Which brings us to the end here. Should you buy the Black Knight? Is he worth unlocking? And what are my final impressions or first impressions of the card? Listen, guys, if you love discard, he's fun. I think he's a very fun card. Brings a unique flavor and feel to the discard archetype, and I still think we haven't found quite the deck for him. Even at that, I'm going to give him a 2-star ranking, and that's if you like discard. Kind of reminds me of like Phoenix Force, if you will, like a fun combo deck, but you can kind of telegraph what they're doing, and so it's going to be limited a bit. Albeit, I think it has some better days ahead, but there's no like super sexy discard things coming out in the future, at least until the end of December. So discard is kind of going to plateau where it's at the moment. So I don't know. It's up to you guys if you want to get him ultimately. I'm going to show you guys some gameplay. And going in, we'll be taking the Hela's Miracle into Conquest to see how it does. Again, your results may vary, and most definitely will. Hela is Hela, so it's very hard to show off this deck. But my plan is to show you guys some of the play lines, how it works. If we lose, great. If we win, awesome. But hopefully you guys have a better understanding of like when to snap and things like that. So we've got our first opponent, and our first location is the White Hot Room. I mean, right off the bat, Blade into Infinite with a Ghost Rider on deck. That is a snap line if I've ever seen one, right? Like, just right off the bat, it's about as good as it gets with this deck and an opening hands. And this is kind of what I mean. We can do a lot of crazy things here. Now, especially if we had, you know, the Black Knight, we would want to play him, then Blade. But it's fine. We're going to get a free Infinite. You couldn't ask for more, right? We've got Lady Sif coming out and Ghost Rider. We know will be played on turn 4. We get Lady Sif now, really no reason to do so. Although, if we did get rid of Hela and then played Ghost Rider, she would bring back Infinite. So it's not like the worst thing to get that done. But I think it might be worth waiting at least till we get the Black Knight out. So we're going to do just that. So let's go and get Black Knight here on the right side.
Face the might of Asgard! Mjolnir!
Awesome. And then we got Lockjaw. So I'm thinking we could set up Lockjaw now into like Mojo World or White Hot Room. If we did Lockjaw now, we could fill up White Hot Room and really get some crazy things going. And if you look at my deck left, we don't have any like things that it can discard. So for the most part, this is a pretty safe play. And I think it's definitely the one we're going to do. So we'll play here into White Hot Room. Okay, he goes Dracula. So we could be playing a mirror match. If I Lady Sif, it gets rid of Apoc or Hela. And again, we can bring Infinite or her back, so that's not a bad idea. Or we just play Ghost Rider, and then we can simply, you know, just pop off with all of our extra energy. Also, something that we could end up doing. So I think it's kind of a tough decision. You could go either way. We're going to go with the Ghost Rider just in case we can maybe pull him again in our next draw. Get the Infinite out. We also get all that bonus power. And we probably don't need that much power in one lane, but that's fine. We'll be okay. We got a pretty interesting thing that we can do here. My thought is we do something along the lines of this. It's only putting down 3 cards, but I don't hate it. He's snapping. He feels pretty confident. We're going to go ahead and play exactly this play line. Yeah, I feel great about this. I don't know why he's snapping into this. So we won Mojo World, no problem. He throws the Hulk down. The hammer. It's a lot. It's a lot to beat.
To me.
I would say other than getting screwed here, let's see if we get the APOC. Wow. Everything happened as it should. And that's the definition of Hela decks, man.
Victory.
Just absolute agent of chaos. And would you look at that? So I guess Lady Sif could have gotten rid of you know, APOC again too. And he's out. Like, this also could have been it too, right? So proceed with caution, because I could have lost 8 cubes there if we ended up going with the Ebony Blade. But we didn't. We ended up getting the W, and we'll go into battle 2. Now, I do want to try the revive package with the Odin. We can do that now. We can go ahead and wait for battle 3. Put it all on the line if we make it there. We've got a cool dude as our opponent with District X and a free Magneto that, okay. Now, the problem is we can't bring back Magneto because, well, we don't have a way to do that. But maybe we get District X and have a Ghost Rider come into our hand. Or Hela. Okay, Super Flow makes me a bit sad that we got rid of the Magneto. But I think we're going to skip turn 4 so we can play Infinite down right now. That seems kind of nice. Wow, District X is really wheeling and dealing right now. Just trying to give us some great options. We're just going to hang out, guys. This guy hasn't played that much, though, so at least we got that going for us. All right. He doesn't even know what he's pulling. Ah, okay, that's a pretty good pull. All right, so we can Red Skull, we can Spider Woman. I think those are both, you know, pretty fun options. We can go with Spider Woman. That's fine. We could have skipped and then played Infinite, but we can always do that. Turn 6. I don't think I'll do it, though. Okay, he goes invisible. I don't think this guy likes what he has either, though. Let's be honest. Yeah, all right. Did we just go Red Skull here? Because even though we're giving power, I think that's fine. We don't have anything else, though. Like, we could have skipped to play, but yeah, we got not a lot working for us. All right. Dude, this guy's got a million ways to beat me. Let's do this. Put a good old 9 power here. This is so bad. Yeah, I think this is probably a losing play. But we're gonna wing it here. Yo, that could be big. What if he didn't want to do that? Probably not. He didn't design the deck. Shang-Chi, that's fine. Oh my god, we won. How is that possible? All right. We came out champions. I know that you guys really came here for the Stegron Sinister deck play. You know, definitely you consider putting Stegron in your Hela decks. And apparently it's a winning strat. Stegron's not as bad as you think, people. He's not as bad as you think. All right. Well, let's get back to actually playing Hela. We have Infinite, APOC, Lockjaw, Lady Sif. Another really good opening hand. We could play Lockjaw turn 3, Lady Sif into that, and get rid of Infinite or APOC. We got Blade that would get rid of our Dracula. We'll go ahead and play... I think we'll play Lockjaw here, and I'll put Dracula on Throne Room. And there's the Black Cat, right? So...
Snap!
We're going to snap. We're going to play Blade to get rid of the Black Cat. It would get rid of itself anyway, but that's okay. And then we're going to play Lady Sif. Okay. We don't want Hela yet, so naturally she comes up right away. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm pretty okay with that, guys.
Opponent snap!
Okay, he's snapping. We're going to get Dracula down on this left lane. I think he thinks that we wanted that Hela for later, but we're completely fine with the Hela now. I mean, I just got 15 power. He's got a Shang-Chi, right? We do know that. We don't know if that was... I should have checked. We technically don't know if that's District X or not. And we have this. So what we can do is... this is a dead lane. He's probably going to Shang-Chi this lane, right? So I think we just straight up play Alioth here. Get rid of the... Okay, he's still just going to Shang-Chi. That's a problem. Yep, here comes the Shang-Chi. But we still beat him. And I think we beat left side too. Yeah, we just won. That was cake, man. I don't know why it took so long. That kind of scared me. Well, that's fantastic, and that's also fantastic, and all is well. God, that was a fast battle. And
Victory.
Yet another crazy, one might say a Hela of victory. I'm sorry, I wasted your time. That was stupid. All right, we move on to Battle 3, and I think I want to do the Revival discard. I'll throw it up on screen. This, I think this has a decent deck behind it. Again, we'll be looking to play Odin on top of our discard cards to get APOC bigger. I think it could be a lot of fun. We're set. We're ready. Here we go. We have Charlie Bull with Weird World to start out, and let me tell you, what a way to begin Battle 3 here as we take his Knoll, and we have a death of our own. So, not... In fact, now we're elated with the start of this, and I'm thinking we're just going to snap. We have a Lockjaw to get our own cards. To me,
Snap!
This is an easy collected cube because he's already messed up. I feel pretty good about this, and we can continue to get some of our cards, hopefully the good ones, by Lockjaw, right? So we still have access to the deck. Let's see if he stays. He's going to stay. He is going to stay, and he's got our Apocalypse, which is probably going to be an issue, but we've got the Dracula, so not too big of a worry. We have Atlantis. So we're definitely not using Killmonger, even though that's who I wish I could throw into here. We can use him later. We don't want to give him energy, and, you know, he's already messed up with Superflow, so we don't want to mess up a good thing, right? I'm tempted to do some stuff into Lockjaw. I think we're just going to play Dracula on Atlantis. Great card to throw there. And just like that, he's going to reset the world. And we get Hela. You know, not terrible. I don't hate our position. I think the only thing that kind of sucks is that we don't have a lot to play at the moment. I'm tempted to do this now. Kill the Blade. Give him Superflow. He's going to have a lot of energy to cook with. It's either that. It helps our death. Let's do it. Okay. Maybe it'll go right back on top of Superflow. Look at that. Great things happen for those that believe. And that's unfortunate. That's for sure. But keep in mind, guys, we have like Alioth in the deck. We've got a lot of things cooking for us. So Black Knight, Hela, good 1-2 there. Death and Knoll. Throwing down the Knoll at this second isn't a bad decision. Black Knight also is somewhat tempting. I think I might throw Knoll just smack dead in the middle here and continue to wait. Black Knight could be a token card on the left. We don't need Superflow anymore. Some might be shocked by that, but I think that's a-okay with me. We got the Alioth. Beautiful. Thinking we're going to go and use Alioth here, have him siphon out, kill whatever he played. We have a death for cheaper. We also have Hela that is going to bring back approximately nothing. But yeah, the Alioth is going to cripple the guy. Perfect. Wipe that away just from ever having a chance. And we get to see exactly how much power we got rid of via null. This guy's got to get out of here. We got a Lyth again. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. So we could theoretically place that here and then go Black Knight, but he's going to get out of here before that.
Victory.
Kind of a long fought 2 cubes, but now we know his cards. We have the right things in our hand, and things are looking pretty good for battle number 3. All right, round 2, Dark Dimension, and we have Lockjaw Apocalypse. Obviously, typically with Hela, Dark Dimension's pretty sick location, but not for the deck we're playing as much. We can Blade now, get rid of the Lockjaw. Clearly, probably don't want to do that. Although if I play the Lockjaw, then Blade, Hela is going to get discarded either way. So kind of a rough situation to be in. We can do Blade this turn, Lady Sif the next turn. We have a few options to go with, but we're going to simply just chill. An Onslaught Citadel for having no ongoing cards. He's got null, so you can almost just say that's going to be his absolute lane. No question about it. Lady Sif can get rid of Hela, and we're starting to cook. Starting to cook a little bit. Okay. Lockjaw dead in the middle. We've got our Sif that can now get rid of Blade, or Death guaranteed. And we have our Blade as well. All right, so let's go with the Lady Sif. Probably into Lockjaw's lane. I'm okay with that. But we have a lot of turns to go, and this null is going to be so cooked up. So we almost kind of have to... I'm going to put Sif over here, actually, believe it or not. We're going to cook up a big lane on the left. Because, again, I'm a little fearful about his null coming out on that right side. All right, there goes the Death. Black Knight comes out, obviously a little late. And we can bring the Death back now, which is freaking awesome. Obviously, we're going to play our Ghost Rider into Lockjaw. It is going to fill us out, but we have a chance to bring the Ghost Rider back out. You know, if it's Silver Samurai, good stuff. We just don't want it to be Dracula. I think that would be our biggest issue card. And typically, this is where I would snap. But he's got location advantage on us, I would like to think. Yeah, dude, this can be tough. That Null can win a lane by himself. All right, we bring back Death. She stays. Cycle out. Samurai gets rid of Goliath. We get rid of, hopefully, his Carnage. So not Null. Well, I guess Null is big enough now, so it would make sense. All right, so Ebony Blade, obviously not all that great. And we only have a Goliath we can bring back with Hela. Now, what's kind of cool is we can play Hela here. And then we can play Odin. And that way Lady Sif does some recycling stuff. And we can bring back Goliath. Plus, potentially Apocalypse here. All right, so we'll play Odin here as well. I think we still have priority, so that works out for us. I would be shocked if the Null doesn't show up on that right lane. I think we've got to risk it, but we're not. There's the Null. That doesn't do us all that much good, right? Well, that's great, but nothing was played, sadly. So we're going to have to just win off pure power here. Yeah, we do just that. Unless he happens to... Yeah, no, we would still win. I was going to say, if this happens to boost those two in the middle, but we still got it by 2. Probably should have snapped into that. The Onslaught Citadel I let get to my head. Got a little nervous. But we'll be okay. And we move on to the next... So far, so good, and Silver Samurai definitely going to try to play him out early and snipe the Null before this guy can get too much Destroy going on, right? We could also theoretically get rid of this Deadpool if we time it just right. Gonna get the Black Knight right on the Abbey. Try to get an extra card draw. That's going to be fantastic. And I guess in this guy, we're both going to get the card draw here. But I can't play anything, which, you know, you got a lot of low-cost options. He still doesn't play anything either, but gets himself a souped-up Deadpool. Holy crap. That's going to be a big boy. And we've got Silver Samurai, Dracula, and Ghost Rider. So I'm thinking
Opponent snapped.
if we do Silver, it's going to give us a bad Ebony Blade. So we don't really want to do that yet. He's snapping, and I get it. Why? Clearly, he's got himself something good. We're going to play Dracula Simply Dead in the middle here. He kills the Black Knight. Unfortunately, we cannot get our Ebony Blade. And do we even have a shot to win, guys? I think we do. I think we're actually pretty good. So this is going to get rid of Ghost Rider or Blade. I think we go Silver and Blade. So we get rid of our Ghost Rider, but we can bring him back. We can also Alioth. We just kind of have to predict where this guy is going to play. Because we do have Alioth. That 32 is obviously massive. We get rid of our Alioth instead of Ghost Rider. That's obviously huge. Things are looking good. And unfortunately, this guy did not get rid of one more card, so we can't play both of these down. The Hela would give us back Alioth, but we don't get to pick where. Whereas Ghost Rider, we get to. And we leave some good, juicy options for Dracula to play into. Tempting. Do we stay for 4? That seems silly. And he's got this stuff. All right. I feel pretty good that we're going to lose. And most times, ship it. But we're doing so good against this guy, we're gonna go ahead and rip it. Pick the wrong lane. That's for damn sure. Didn't get the right Alioth lane. And anyway, we only got the 8, so we lose that one. That's okay. We kind of expected to lose that one. We're fine. That's the natural. That's just Helidex being Helidex, right? We'll make it back here, guys. All right, so really good start here. A lot of cards I like. So much so that I think I might snap. We're gonna play Black Knight out, and then we're gonna immediately play Blade, and we're gonna hope that the card that comes out here is Death or APOC. Those are the cards we want the most. And it is Death. You could not ask for a better card to come down. We got Death. Let's get our Ebony out. Beautiful. And there's Monster Metropolis. All right, cool. So at this point, we can Lady Sif. We have our Ebony Blade. Lady Sif's Alioth or Hela. Again, we're not strictly a Hela deck here. So we can go ahead and play Lady Sif down right side. If this hits Alioth, great. If not, we'll live. Beautiful. Death Domain obviously helps him out a ton. We have Lockjaw. So we're going to go ahead and play down our Ebony Blade now and let that turn into a symbiote. All right. I feel pretty good, guys. I feel pretty good about all this. We have our Lockjaw. We can play down on this lane, or we simply just play Dracula, which I don't hate because we have Odin and APOC. The Lockjaw's kind of annoying, but I think we go Dracula here. Okay. And lastly, we have Silver. So we have Death and Alioth that we can bring back with our Hela, which is obviously huge. We can play them both here and try to get it and squeeze it in the middle. Obviously, he has like a huge, an absolute enormous Deadpool that he'll probably just play into this left lane here. So it could be more advantageous to do that. Either way, he's got to win both lanes. I don't think he can do it. He maybe has Bucky Barnes, but if he did, I think he'd be snapping. So we're going to play our Hela. Both play middle lane. Kind of a bummer. But we barely squeeze off the dubs, which is pretty sick. We get 19 here on the side, 13 in the middle, and we squeeze away a 4 cube that we just lost.
Victory.
Nice. All right, so the next round is nothing too exciting except Destroy being destroyed with a Shuri's Lab, and I foolishly tried to win. They beat us by about approximately 500 points, so we're going to skip on through this battle and get on to the last one. We'll just give that round to Charlie Bull. All right. So we got walloped there. Absolutely destroyed. And yet another location that helps him out. Got to love it, guys. Gotta love it. All right, let's get Black Knight out. We gotta win. We gotta win 1. He's gotta win 2. But he has an X-23 that's already charging up the board. So it might be a tough battle. Lady Sif is there to get rid of Odin or Hela, both of which probably don't want to have happen. And then we have Morag last. Okay. Alrighty. Alrighty. Well, do we even think this is our best plan of attack here? We can just do the Dracula. Let's just do it. Get the Sif down. She helps us out with Vormir, so I guess we got that. If this goes Odin, then happy day. Alright, show me Ghost Rider. It's only a 670 blade, so clearly not great. There's the Ghost Rider, so we've got that. Ask and you shall receive. Because we're going to throw Dracula here in the middle. We really want APOC. At this point, the APOC would be kind of massive. This guy just has Null, though. He's got so much cooking. It's going to be tough. We did get the APOC, so look at that. Right now, our issue is we can't play Silver Samurai. Because he gets rid of our lowest power card. That would be our Ghost Rider. So we kind of have to do Ebony Blade. Which I guess is fine. Now, we do have a little bit of good news. If we play down Odin, we can hit Lady Sif. That's going to hit the APOC. And then we can start some things cooking a little bit. Our Hela's going to put enough in this right lane. I don't see there being a world where we do win this. Exhibit A. Because the guy is simply just going to play Null in the middle. Can we beat 24 left side? I guess is what it comes out to. Okay. All right. We got the Eliath. Doesn't really cut it. All right. Well, another sad loss. But we're not giving up yet. We're not giving up hope yet. We lost the Black Knight. Deadpool goes out. Why would he do that? So this guy was just hoping that he could beat us with the 31, which I would say is kind of brave. Like, if this is death, do we win? No, we lose by 1. All right. Listen, guys. I just did this all for dramatic effect. Last round, 2-2. Comes down to the final. You couldn't ask for a better script here. All right, Ghost Rider, Eliath, Death. We've got the Blade to get rid of Eliath early. Love that. We can possibly snipe his Deadpool before it's played, or Hulkbuster, or Null, or whatever the hell he's trying to do. Keep in mind, he's got magic he likes to play. We got to kind of remember the things that he likes to play. Lockjaw in the lane we think he's going to play in. Plus the Ghost Rider. We'll just go into this right lane. And then we're going to Ghost Rider that Eliath out on the board. Keep in mind, we can also Odin this Eliath later on, so cheating the Eliath is kind of big. The man's just discounting our death, so good stuff. Let's get the Ghost Rider out now. See if he happens to play on Baxter. Doubt it. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, it's gorgeous. Take him out, big boy. Purple Cloud goes poof. We got our death down even more so. The Dracula comes up. All we need to finish off this fantastic finish, all we need is an Odin. We just need an Odin. Let's go ahead and throw death. We'll go death here in the middle, get a nice big card, and he's out.
Victory.
The man didn't even want to finish, people. We got the dubs. It was a hard-earned, fought battle, but after 7 rounds and a little bit of, you know, I don't know if we took the best decisions. We take out yet another opponent to finish our gold conquest and get the infinity tickets. So, guys, overall, Black Knight, definitely not a card you should waste your money on, even if you're a big discard fan. I mean, if you play discard, get the card. I think you're going to enjoy what he does. He adds a little flavor and more consistency in a Ghost Rider, which is a lot of fun. Overall, I give him a fun ranking. I think he's great there. 2-star is about where we end up at, though, looking into all the decks. I do think he adds something to the deck. He doesn't take away from it. And the MODOK, you know, potential dependable discard. People know what you're doing. With Black Knight, it becomes a little bit more chaotic. And again, feels a lot like a Phoenix Force deck. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you haven't already, subscribe down below. If you want to catch me playing this deck a lot live, I'll be live on Twitch today. In fact, probably right now. So you can go ahead and check that out in the description. Get your Twitch drops. And as always, until the next one, happy snapping.